Hey everybody, Questwise here, and today have I got a surprise for you. Something that, if you're a Palladium fan, you've probably been waiting for a long time. I know I have, and I'm actually kind of new, not to Palladium, but I'm kind of new to the actual game itself. And let me tell you what I'm talking about. No delays any longer. We're going to be talking about Splicers today, alright? And I'm going to tell you a little bit about my history with Splicers, but more importantly, what we're all been waiting for a very long time is Splicers I Am Legion. We're actually talking about a supplement, some expansion to the Splicers line. Hooray, the crowds go crazy. Let me tell you a little bit about my experience with Splicers. And throughout the video today, I'm going to be showing putting up some artwork from inside the game as well too. It'll be kind of popping up around the screen and stuff as well too. But part of what makes I Am Legion so fantastic and what really brings this to life is all of Chuck Walton's amazing artwork. And you guys know, if you've watched my videos from Palladium Open House, you know exactly my huge fanboy obsession with Chuck's amazing artwork. So I'm showing some of that off because that's what really brings this supplement and brings the world of Splicers to life. So my experience with Splicers goes back a couple of years. Now, I've been a Palladium fan my entire gaming career. That goes way back to the early 90s. Splicers is one of those games I always put off because I didn't really know much about it, and again, it was just one standalone book, and I was, just wasn't sure. I wasn't sure. I know that all of Palladium's stuff uses the same system and is intercompatible in ways and stuff, but I just really wasn't sure how, what Splicers was about. So a couple of years ago, I'm at Grand Con in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I get to interact with the guys from Palladium. Specifically, I get to talk to Kevin, the owner, and I get to talk to Wayne, and I get to talk to Chuck. And so I'm standing at the booth, and I'm buying a few things, and I look at Chuck, and I'm like, Chuck, if there's one game or one specific game done by the Palladium line that you would recommend to anybody that hasn't tried it before, what would be that game? Without hesitation, he says Splicers. So I grab a copy. I'm already a huge fan of Chuck's, his artwork and stuff. Now, he didn't, this was put out quite a while back. As you all know, if you're a Palladium fan, Splicers has been out for a long time. This was written by Carmen Belair. And so he didn't have any artwork in this particular book, but he was a huge fan and loved what Splicers had done to the game. And so, if you don't know what Splicers is, because we're not here to talk about the actual core book, we're here to talk about the cool I Am Legion expansion. If you don't know what Splicers is, go back into my catalog, and there's actually a video about Splicers and what it is. It's kind of a flip through and an explanation of what the game is itself. So go check that out, and then come back and finish watching this one. But today I really, really, really want to talk about I Am Legion. So what is I Am Legion? I Am Legion is actually an adventure and a source book in one volume. It's it's the beginning of a episodic campaign. So it's broken down into different chapters, into different sections, so that you can introduce characters into the Splicers world. Because the one thing about Splicers, that I don't know if I mentioned it in the original video or not, but Splicers, the world of setting is so rich and so entertaining and so full of crunch and awesomeness that it can be sometimes intimidating or challenging to sort of know where to introduce new players into, where to sort of step into that world and begin an ongoing campaign. Or a one-shot might be a little easier because you can just kind of plop it out there, but to actually start a campaign, it can be a little bit challenging for the game master and the players to kind of know just exactly where they sort of fit into that timeline and what's the best way to sort of enter that world. What are the best, OCCs to run? Where that whole thing kind of fits. This is what I Am Legion does for us. It kind of gives us an adventure campaign that's broken up into sort of episodes. and it goes chapter by chapter. The great thing about this book that I really enjoy about it, besides just being its overall awesomeness, is that each episode, adventure-wise, also ends in a short sort of game master player pocket of goodness. It'll have new OCCs, it'll have new equipment, it'll have new enemies for the game master to throw in. It's all in there, so it's kind of encapsulated, sort of chapter by chapter, episode by episode. There's some great stuff, and then the whole book wraps up with a huge section on the new machine that is Legion and her minions and all the great stuff. So very well done, very well thought out. Now, a lot of this is drawn from different Rifter magazines in the past. From what I understand, and I don't know if I actually own any of the Rifters that have this stuff in it, and it will tell you before each chapter which was drawn from which Rifter. But what's nice about it is, even if you're a huge collector of the Rifter magazine and you already have all these, at least it's all collected here into one perfect volume with some great, amazing art, and everything's sort of wrapped up into a nice source book ending, with all this information about what is Legion and how to use Legion, and more world setting and some other cool stuff as well too. There are 6 new great houses. If you know anything about Splicers, again, go back and watch my other video. I will wait for you to come back. And welcome back. 6 new great houses, now that you know what those are. 4 new great new host armors. We got 6 new war mounts. I love the idea of war mounts. I think this is such a cool sort of symbiotic. I mean, even though the host armor is very symbiotic, I think the war mounts are really such a cool idea. Sort of a living battleship of stuff. We get tons of new bioweapons, some of my favorites, and I'll put this up in the one of the floating pictures here. But the Mantis Claws bio armor, or bio weapon that sort of attaches to your arm, I think that's the coolest thing, and it's really powerful as well too. A whole cast of new NPCs, including Legion, which I'll get into in a minute. NPCs that characters can interact with, and then a variety of new villains, including Legion. What is Legion? Legion is this new amalgamation of what they believe are parts of the other AI that sort of created from the machine, from the original days of the schism between humanity and the machine itself. And she's sort of birthed herself into a new group of personalities, and this personality, Legion, is sort of a central hub that's now creating billions of other new machines to wipe out humanity in new and disgusting ways, as you'll see in the book. And I don't want to give away everything, because I want you to go pick up this book. If you're a Splicers fan at all, you need to go get this book. And if you haven't tried Splicers, grab Splicers and I Am Legion together. You'll be perfectly happy that you did. Even though Splicers is a beautiful book on its own, I Am Legion adds a ton of great stuff that you're definitely gonna want. So, like I said, I don't want to give away all the secrets of this book, but Legion has this ability, and it's always referred to as sort of she, as this computer sort of artificial intelligence, who's now creating this new group of machines to fight humanity, and also sometimes uses that in a very grotesque way, in a very scary way for humanity as well too. But one of my favorite creations that she's created are called, because she's called Legion, obviously, and Legion because of that verse, and I'm assuming this is where they take it from, I Am Legion. There's a verse in the Bible where there's a demon encounter, and they ask the demon what its name is, and it said, I am Legion, for we are many. The idea that she's creating all these different variety of machines to wipe out humanity comes from that aspect, and that she has these sort of sub-generals known as legionaries that are extremely awesome, and I'll put the artwork up here as well too. One of my coolest aspects of the books. I love the legionaries. I think it's such a cool sort of idea of that they're sort of like Legion's generals, and that they actually act as a hub of control for all the other machines around them as well too. And so, and again, not giving away any secrets, but if you pick up the book, you'll find out why the legionaries I think are so cool. So that's a little hint at what Legion is and what legionaries and stuff are. Again, it's a great way to introduce your characters into an episodic campaign, and it follows them along. And I think it says it kind of exemplifies like levels 1 through like 8. I think is what I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's like it takes you through a nice swath of character growth and stuff as well. The entire book, again, full of amazing Chuck Walton art. Again, like I said, if you've watched the things before, you know I'm a big fanboy. And he really, the artwork in this, and you'll see it throughout this video as I've been popping it up here and there, really brings this thing to life, man. It just really brings the idea of the Splicers idea of humanity not being able to use or interact with any type of metals, and using biotechnology in order to grow its own armor or grow its own weapons. And in splicing, idea of splicers, of splicing our DNA with natural DNA, that of animals and the natural world, in order to combat the machine. And I think that you can definitely see Chuck's love of the game, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, in this artwork, because it really, really exemplifies what this game is about. It's if, like I said, if you haven't picked up Splicers before, do so, because this game is amazing. One of the things I really love about, and this is something I just sort of, I don't want to say rediscovered, but I guess in a way rediscovered just recently, sitting down, reading through a bunch of Palladium stuff. The thing that I love so much about this, and it's not that the rules, it's not the rule system. I know a lot of, there's, it's not the rule system that I love about this game. It's the depth of passion and feeling that goes into the writing of each one, and the fact that the guys at and gals at Palladium Books take the time to make sure that the right writing is done by the right people, and they're very empathetic about the fact that there needs to be a certain level of writing skill being done that really, really, really makes this a great game. You can tell the passion behind each one. Carmen, this book is just beautiful to read, and it's passionate to read, and it's amazing. It really sucks you in. And then, so once you're already excited about Splicers, and then you grab this one, the same exact thing. That's sort of, you can feel the extension of the passion, even though it's been several years that we've been waiting for any kind of material for Splicers. You can definitely feel the sort of strength and passion behind the writing and the love of that thing, and that's what I really love about the game. And against the entire Palladium line, any other games, is that the strength of the writing and the strength of the passion behind those people writing that game. So, I am Legion. Splicers, go pick it up today. I'll put a link down below to my previous Splicers video, as well as to Palladium Books website, where you can pick these all up. Until next time, I'm Questwise, and I'm out.